Hi, I'm Kathy Hiscott, President and CEO of PPI. Welcome to Being Indispensable, a video series designed to bring PPI's mission to life through the stories of the people who solve problems, spark growth, and help advisors build high-performing businesses. So join us for Being Indispensable and discover how PPI's people make all the difference, not just in what we do, but in how we help you thrive. Today, as part of our Being Indispensable video series, I'd like to introduce everyone to Justin Burke. Justin is PPI's Vice President of Information Technology. Justin, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I know you flew all the way from Vancouver just to be here with us.
Yeah.
So very much appreciate it. And I think it's a little sunnier here than it's been in Vancouver.
Yeah, we're starting to have a little bit of overcast, rainy season, but still nice.
Very good, very good. So when you look at the staff and the advisors that we serve, there's tools and systems and technology, and your team keeps it reliable and that we always have access to it. So what are some things you do to improve the experience for staff and advisors?
We're constantly looking at ensuring that we're on the right technology, the right platform. Just recently, we started through a cloud journey over the last few years.
Right.
And we started to move our data centers from on-premise to the cloud. We completed our Vancouver data center last year, and we're doing our Calgary one this year. And allowing us to do that sort of infrastructure allows us to have more flexibility, more functionality, more security. So doing some of the basic stuff that might seem boring helps us do things faster, better, and more securely.
So a lot of that move that you've done actually enabled us to launch our new portal.
Exactly. And the Secure Portal is a great example of a new technology we've done for the advisors. Our Aurora portal was great, but it had its reaches into life. And we needed a more secure platform, a more agile platform.
Right.
And so we built a cloud-first portal that allows us to add more features, more functionality, and more and secure our advisor data. We've recently rolled out MFA with it as well.
Right. And I know many of us with multi-factor authentication, it's like, I got to go through this step. But if we think about the data that really we have within our infrastructure, it really is to protect our advisors' clients' data and our advisors' data.
Exactly. We at PPI have access to a wide variety of data.
Yeah.
Our advisors that log in the portal have access to a wide variety of client data.
Right.
And so not only is it important that we secure our access to the data, but our advisors' access to the data as well.
It's all about protecting the advisor and the client, right?
Exactly.
One of the big aspects of what we've done with our portal is to have single sign-on with our different carriers and other vendors. What's the benefit to an advisor of having our portal as kind of truly their portal and access to everything?
There's two things with that. The one is convenience. So you're able to get in and seamlessly log into a number of sources with one login.
Okay.
So instead of having to remember passwords for various sites, having to MFA each time, we're seeing, I think this year so far, 3 carriers have enabled MFA.
Yeah.
And so imagine having to MFA into PPI and then into another carrier. So this allows you to MFA into PPI, and we grant you access to all the other carrier websites. We also have all the security controls and monitoring and logging around the PPI credential. So we also help ensure that if something were to happen, we're able to, appropriately reduce access or log where access is going to help secure data.
That's a big deal with an advisor choosing an MGA, right? Because reality is we have access to a lot of data, but our goal is to really simplify an advisor's journey. So when they want to access a carrier or access some client information, by us setting up our structure the way we have, we can help them do it securely.
Exactly. Cybersecurity enables people to use technology. People see it as a hindrance, but a properly set up cybersecurity technology will make things easier and more secure. And so we want to always try to find that balance between convenience and functionality and security. And if you didn't have a lock in your front door, you didn't have that security, you can't have that business because they just come in and steal everything.
It's a good analogy. It's really a front door that's locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. What are some things that keep you awake? You're our head of cybersecurity, IT, infrastructure. Really, you are the backbone, you and your team, of all things PPI that is anywhere in the cloud, on premises. So, what keeps you awake at night?
Two things: business email compromise and ransomware.
Tell me more.
A business email compromise is probably the biggest attack vector we're seeing. That's mostly phishing emails that come in. You click on the link, you either gets infected with the virus, they steal your credentials, they get access to your system,
Right.
and they can steal all your emails. They can get access to your SharePoint, your other systems. And I'm concerned about it for a few different reasons. One, I'm always worried about that at PPI. We have a number of controls in place, but we're seeing our business partners and our advisors becoming suspect or becoming compromised with business email compromise. And so imagine a scenario where you're compromised and don't know it. The bad actor has access to your email. They reply to an email from PPI. PPI staff member gets the email. It looks like it's from the advisor. It's response to email that you sent them. They send a link from their OneDrive, because their OneDrive is also compromised. And it's really hard for a staff member to know that that's coming from a bad actor instead of from the advisor. And that email is not coming just to PPI. It could go to an accountant or a lawyer or another, a client of the advisor. And so it's a pretty big issue in the ecosystem.
Yeah. And I think the key that you just hit on is the partnership that we've got within the different parts of the organization. So with compliance, and I know the team built the playbook, like, what if I'm an advisor and I've had a breach? And that step-by-step and guidance that we're able to provide advisors,
Yeah,
I hope is indispensable to advisors.
yeah, I think it will be, because unless you've gone through it before, it's sort of like the first time you got into a car accident. What do? Do you call the police? Do you call your insurance advisor? What information you need? And you're also in a heightened sense of anxiety and panic.
Yeah.
So, coming to PPI, reporting the breach or the potential breach, we can make sure that your insurance is involved, the right people are notified.
Yeah.
What's the timing on notification? How do we make sure that they're out of your system? And how do we make sure that you're secure so that it's less likely to happen in the future?
I love your analogies, because I think sometimes we think of cybersecurity as this black box out there. And, thinking about what we do to lock the front door to stop people from coming in to steal. But I think your analogy on, if an advisor at PPI is faced with some sort of breach, knowing they can reach out to us and we can help guide them to make the right calls so that they're protected. So, and it's great that your team is working with the advisor services organization, compliance, and the distribution team. So it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
Here's my last question for you. What keeps you at PPI?
Growth and change. It feels like every few years, PPI is growing, changing.
Yeah.
And I really like the constant change, learning new things. And we have amazing teams. And you ask any employee here, and they're long-standing because of the culture, the people.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to work.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And your team, you've brought in some amazing talent to work in the in your area, IT, and of course the marketing, technology, the way that you collaborate and work together. I really believe is what will continue to help us deliver a seamless experience to our advisors.
Thank you.
So thank you for all you do, and we'll see you around.
Thank you. I appreciate it.